Hi, good evening. I'm Jovhannah, and I wanted to come on and answer a question, but also do the weekly energy card readings. So I was doing them on YouTube, and I decided just to start doing them here live on my page for a few different reasons. So I'm kind of excited about that. But someone asked the question, how do you heal completely? And I was going to come on and talk about like the different steps and things, that help people heal. But really the answer is love. Love is like the most healing energy that there is. And of course there's different stages of healing depending on like what you've gone through. And for instance, so I was in an abusive relationship a long time ago. And I recently opened up about it on the Love Breakthrough Summit, talking with Camille Shepherd Parrish. And talking about it made me realize there was still like a little tender spot there. And because that's the first time that I like just really publicly just came out and really started talking about it in an open way. And I realized that I had not given myself permission to really talk about that experience. And a lot of that had to do with me having a child. I have a daughter. She's now 15. So, I didn't want her to grow up feeling like, oh, my dad is a monster, or, what's going on between my parents. So that was part of it. And of course, like the guilt and the shame that went along with being abused was part of it as well. And it's funny because one of the ladies that I am in a group with, we were talking about our chakras and like where did we feel connected and where did we feel disconnected. And it wasn't actually until, I started thinking about, what does it truly take to heal, that I realized there was a disconnection like in my throat chakra, which is where we express ourselves. And then I started kind of putting all the pieces together, and it's because I hadn't given myself permission to talk about the experience. And oftentimes we aren't sharing the things that happen to us because we feel like we're the only person that it's happened to, or we're afraid. But being able to speak about the traumas that we've experienced, the pain that we've gone through, or whatever the case may be, allows another level of healing to take place. And really all of that just goes back into greetings. How are you doing, Nee? Thank you so much for joining. But all of it really just goes back to loving yourself enough to realize you don't want to carry the pain anymore, and loving yourself enough to do the work that it takes to heal. Healing isn't always an easy process. It took me a very long time to heal from being in an abusive relationship, and it took a lot longer than it should have because I didn't have like the help, or I was just kind of scrambling trying to find different tools and resources and things that fit me, that helped me to feel good. And it shouldn't have taken that long. We can hold on to pain and trauma and not even realize it because it becomes normal in some way. So we think that carrying all these bags or all these stories or all this, pain, all this trauma, all this drama, we think that it's normal. And because we've been carrying it around for so long, you kind of get used to the weight of it. And it's not until you actually, can sit down, put that stuff down, and that you realize how good it feels, how light you feel, because you're no longer carrying all the weight of that experience. And that's what I realized, when I was talking about my situation. I'm going to leave the link in the comments if you want to listen into the Love Breakthrough Summit. It really is going to be powerful, and just sharing different tips and techniques and experiences to help others break through different levels of barriers that will be, maybe holding you back in love and life. But once I spoke about it, and I was unprepared, so this was like totally like last minute conversation, so it wasn't scripted. And I realized like I wasn't ready. Like, what am I going to say? Like, this is so, it's ugly. Like, how can I just put all of this out there? But when I did it, I felt lighter. And I realized, I need to talk about it more. I need to share, some of those dark things that I haven't been able to open up about before. So just even in doing that, it allowed me to open up and let more light in. So when you think about the things that you are dealing with, or the things that you feel like you have not healed, you got to be ready to love yourself. Because once you start that process, it's going to hurt a little bit more until, that wound is fully healed. But the more you are able to love yourself, that's where the healing begins. And that's where life starts over. And so when you can look back at that situation and it no longer triggers you, it's not as painful as it used to be, and you can look back and remember the good things about that person or about that relationship, that's where healing is. Because you can look back from a place of love and say, you know what? We were in a bad place. They weren't loving themselves. They weren't loving me. I wasn't loving them. I wasn't loving myself. And that is very, very challenging to do. Being in an abusive relationship, I was able to look back and no longer view him as a monster. I could see a scared young man who had no clue what was going on with life anymore, and that's what I had to do. I couldn't look back and keep saying, you did this to me, you're a monster, you're this, you're that, because that's not loving. And that would have just kept me holding on to that pain. And that's not what I wanted to do. So really, true healing, to heal completely, it starts with love, and it has to continue. So it just doesn't start. And that's the thing. We think, okay, I got over it, I did it, and we forget about it. That love has to persist on in you, because you might come up with another challenge that kind of knocks you back into that space. It might be a different person, a different situation, but it feels really familiar. That pain feels familiar, and it can trigger you, and it can cause you to kind of slip back into that place where you feel like you've got to, tighten yourself up, and you've got to put up all these walls and all these barriers. But you have to stand in that love and choose differently. As soon as you see it, stand in that place of love and say, you know what, this isn't for me. So I just wanted to say that. And now I'm going to pull our card for the week. I usually pull from my Crystal Ally card deck, which I absolutely love. I love working with crystals. And this was my very first crystal card deck, actually. So I've had it for quite some time. And these will I like to pull one at the beginning of the week that just gives me an idea of what energies to kind of be on the lookout for. And we have a lot going on this week. I know with this super full blue blood moon and lunar eclipse on top of it, a lot of things are just coming up. Stuff from the past, just random stuff that I'm like, why is this even on my mind? Why is this bothering me? And yes, I love this deck. It's by Naisha Aishin. It's a really beautiful deck, and the book that comes with it goes really in depth on just the different meanings and ties in the energy of the crystals. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. So, okay, well, this is really good. So the card that came up is citrine, and that represents manifestation. And I actually have a piece of citrine right here. I love these because the energy, it really is about just success and manifestation. So I was talking about the moon a little while ago, and really we're in the start of a new month. It's a new season, and we have the ability, just like I was talking about, healing before, we have the ability to let go of the stories, the limits, the people, the thoughts, the things, the habits that are blocking us from manifesting the life that we want. And what I like about this card, so you can see the cup here. It's a nice, beautiful golden chalice, and it looks like, the cup is just being filled. And then there's an overflow. So when we start to let go of the things that are blocking our manifestation, blocking our goals, that's when we can receive what God has in store for us. Because you can see it's raining down from heaven, basically. So there is an abundance of love, an abundance of money, an abundance of whatever it is that your heart desires, just waiting for you. But sometimes we get in our own way because we either don't believe it or we're doing the wrong things that are keeping us out of alignment from, what is meant for us. So I'm going to read from the book that comes with the card deck because it goes a little deeper into it and just provides a little more insight. So like I talked about, we see that the chalice is overflowing, which represents abundance. And that is what we all want. 2017, a lot of people say, they had a really challenging year that year. And I see a lot of people talking about how January has been a really long month for them. But if we can kind of just switch our focus onto the things that we desire and start to let go of the things that don't serve us, like, whatever pain that we might be holding on to. Sometimes we're trying to drag people with us that aren't supposed to come with us. So once we start to let some of that go, you'll start to see things move a lot quicker. And the moon full moon that is coming up, that is kind of what that energy is all about. It's closing out what does not serve you, because if you continue to hold on to it, you might miss your blessing this time around. Now, what is for you will always be for you and will come to you, but if you're fighting against it, it's going to take a lot longer for it to get to you than if you were working on the same wavelength as it. So much of our experience on earth is gained from our attempts to transform our dreams and wishes into physical, right? We pray, we put our thoughts out there of the things that we desire because we want to see it in our life. We want to see it manifested on this physical earth plane while we are living and breathing. And the manifestation is all about creating in, the physical form, the experiences and the things that you desire. And you can do that with your thoughts and your beliefs. And if you're like me, like lately, like I've had like a lot of stuff coming up because this moon is really shaking up our energy. It's kind of reminding us of whatever little things that we had stored in the back of our minds that we're still kind of holding on to. So take note. And I've actually started writing stuff down, because like random stuff from like a long time ago is just popping up, and I'm like, where is this coming from and why is it bothering me? Do I need this? No. So I'm writing it like on a list, and I'm like, these are the things that I'm letting go of because they no longer serve me. I've learned from that lesson. I sent love back to the situation and saw how it has impacted me. How did it help me grow? And then I have to release it because I don't want to carry that on with me this year because it's just going to get in the way. And I have amazing things that I want to call into my life, just as I'm sure you do as well. So a lot of our manifesting energy is also about us creating our willpower, because it takes, our focus and direction to create the things that we want in our life. And we have to know and believe that we can manifest the things that we desire. That is key. So, the thoughts that we speak, the things that we think about, the ideas that we have, our actions and the choices, all of that has an impact on what we create in this world. And the only thing that we can create is right now, in the here and now. So if we're thinking about the past, or if you're too focused on what might happen in the future, you're going to miss your opportunity to choose the thoughts and the right actions now that are going to get the things that you want to see in the future. So always, and it can be hard because, our thoughts can run us if we aren't paying attention and really being in control of our mind. So if you are thinking something, and your emotions let you know whether or not you are in alignment. So if you're thinking something and it's got you feeling upset, it's got you feeling, sad or down, you're angry, pay attention to that and shift your energy, because the things that are upsetting you, it's happening to let you know, to help you redirect your energy back to where it needs to be. So no, you're not supposed to be angry 24/7. You shouldn't be sad 24/7. The things that are causing you not to be happy, not to be in a state of joy, are things that either need healing or releasing. So kind of pay attention to that and get yourself in a state of joy. And like I said, if you're focusing on the past or on the future, it's really hard to be in a state of joy, because you're either worried or, you're not in a happy place. Oh, okay. Hopefully it'll clear up. Yes, we are going to claim clarity so that we can get through this. So holding on to, outdated beliefs and things like that will block your blessing. It'll block you being able to manifest what you want. It'll block you from even being able to think that you can have those things. And that's where a lot of us get stuck at, thinking like we can't have it because either we haven't had it before, or maybe we had it and we lost it and we just can't see how we can get back to that place. So let's see. So when citrine appears, it's asking you to look at what you're creating in the moment. Like, what are you creating right now? What beliefs and thoughts and desires do you have? And whatever it is that you're holding your attention on. Hi, Coach Ross. How are you? Thank you for watching. That is what's going to manifest. So make sure that your words and your actions are consistent with what you want to create. And that goes for love and for life. If you are saying you want to be in a committed relationship, you want to find your soulmate, but you are not acting in that way, like maybe you just you don't really have a plan for anything, you're just kind of floating around. If your actions and thoughts and words are not consistent with what it is that you are saying that you want or what you desire, you're not going to be able to get it. So you want to pay attention to that for sure. So citrine, and this is the card that we pulled, manifestation with citrine, and it's asking you to get clear on what you want. And like I said, I've been writing things down, things that I want to release, and getting really clear on the things that I want for myself. And it's a really great idea to write it down. Spend a little time just kind of jotting down how you want to feel. What do you want your life to look like? And so once you get clear on that, then you can start to choose thoughts and actions and habits that are in alignment with what it is that you want. That allows you to kind of co-create with the universe or God, so that you're just a clear channel. You're like, okay, this is what I want. I'm clear on it. I'm, doing the things that are in alignment with it. So that just kind of allows your blessings to flow right on through. So when you align yourself with these sources of higher guidance, you'll learn to manifest the things that are only for your highest good. And you'll start to see your creations really manifest on earth. So an affirmation that you can say is that I co-create with in harmony with divine will. I co-create in harmony with divine will. So I think that is a really good energy to end out, the first month of the year with, is manifestation, because a lot of times we set these goals at the start of the year. We're hyped and ready to go. We're like, it's a new year. And then as the days wear on, we start to slip back to our comfort zone, back to the habits, and back into, the thoughts that we are used to. And then we kind of give up on our big goal, our big dream. So if that's you and you feel like, you were doing good, but now you're not, it's okay. This is a really great time to reset, clarify what it is that you want and desire for yourself, and really start to focus on that going forward. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Like I said, if you want to participate in the Love Breakthrough Summit, it starts tomorrow, and I shared my story on the summit, and it was a great experience. I'm looking forward to hearing from the other speakers. I'm going to leave the link in the description box. So sign up, experience your breakthrough in love and life, and that'll definitely help you, especially if you're wanting to manifest love in your life this year. Camille Shepherd Parrish put on a really great event, pulling together experts in the love, dating, relationship arena to help you experience your breakthrough so that you can manifest the love that you want. Thank you so much for watching, ladies. I will see you next week, and have a wonderful week. Bye.